Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video. So this is my buddy's G80 M3. You guys have seen it on the channel. We've done a few modifications. I have driven it, kind of given a review on this car. And in those videos, a lot of people have always asked me to do kind of a walk around, go over the specs of the car, what modifications are done. So I said, sure, why not? My buddy was kind enough yet again to lend me the car for a little bit so I can get this video done. And yeah, so let's start going over my buddy's G80 M3. So if you guys don't know, my buddy actually had a 2022 G80 M3 competition X-Drive. It was in Brooklyn Gray with the Fiona Red interior. Then a few months later, the dealer that sold him the Brooklyn Gray said, hey, we have a special edition coming in, the Yara Edition. Are you interested? And sure enough, here we are. He ended up selling the Brooklyn Gray and bought this one. So this is a 2023 BMW G80 M3. This is the Yara Edition, as I mentioned. So it's a special edition. There's nothing crazy about it in terms of the overall performance. It's exactly the same as all the other G80 competitions, but you get a few little special things in that package in this limited edition. So I wanted to go over them with you and kind of let you know what the difference is between a Yara and just a normal competition or a base M3. But yeah, so let's start getting into the details of this car. Just some quick specs on this car. This is a competition X-Drive. So this is the kind of top of the line trim level that you can get in the G80. 503 horsepower, 479 foot-pounds of torque, which is said to be underrated from BMW, actually said to be a little bit more. I know Dynon actually dynoed this car and the torque number was around 495, and I believe the horsepower was closer to the 520, 530 or so. So that is pretty impressive. To the crank, obviously over 600, it's pretty insane. I have driven these cars, as I mentioned, quite a few times, this one especially, and it definitely is a very, very fast car. Okay, so what makes this a Yara Edition? Basically, the Yara Edition, you get a few special things. One of which is a special paint color. This is Techno Violet, very, very popular color. This actually started on the E36 M3. Then after that, you weren't able to order it unless it was through the individual program, but the Yara Edition G80 M3 was the only time that they actually offered it since. As you guys know, you can see it is a little bit different than normal Techno Violet. I'll go over that in a little bit when we're going over modifications, but this is a beautiful, beautiful color. I've absolutely love it. I mean, look at the lines on this thing. It is pretty insane. Another special perk to the Yara Edition is the wheels. These are stagger, which is normal, 19s in front, 20s in the rear, but the actual color. The car is a little dirty right now, so it's hard to tell, but the color that you get on these cars on the Yara Edition is called Orbit Gray. Very, very nice gunmetal color. I put a picture up for you guys when the wheels were clean so you can see the true color of it. Beautiful, beautiful color. On his Brooklyn Gray, he actually had the black wheel, which looked really nice, but it kind of hid a lot of the detail. The Orbit Gray is perfect since it's nice and dark, but it doesn't hide all the details, and it really, really stands out. And I actually prefer this color over any other option that you can get with these cars. On the rear here, as you can see, you get carbon fiber titanium tips. Apparently, it is not the full titanium exhaust, it's just the tips. That is something special that you get on these Yara Editions, which are very, very nice. Again, the car is dirty, so I apologize. On the normal competitions or the base, you just get black, gloss black tips. So these are really nice. It has a little M logo there. So it's a very, very nice touch. Now up on the front bumper, as you can see down here, it comes standard with a carbon fiber lip. These bumpers, very controversial. Many people don't like them, but honestly, with a front lip on these bumpers, it completely changes the way this car looks. Honestly, it is so much better with the front lip. I like it so much better. It really, really kind of ties everything together. Sorry, it is a little dark, but the carbon fiber front lip is very, very nice. There's also some aftermarket options that I have seen that actually look even better than this. A little bit more detail, a little bit more angle. They kind of bump out a little bit further, which is personally what I would go with. But it's really nice that it comes standard on the Yara Edition. And it really, really ties the front end in. And I honestly think it looks way better with the front lip. Also on the rear, forgot about this, you get a carbon fiber rear trunk spoiler. You do not get that on the normal competition or the normal M3s. You can option the exterior carbon package, but this is standard on the Yara Edition. And the non-limited edition M3s, you can get it in the Shadowline trim, which is in black, or you cannot opt for the Shadowline trim and it's just paint matched to whatever color car you got. But with the Yara Edition, you get the carbon fiber rear lip standard. That is it for the exterior, not much, but let's head on the interior. I'll show you the few details that you do get. So on the door sill here, you get the special plaque here, which is nothing crazy, but it is a nice little addition. You get the special 50-year Yara Edition, the little M colors here, which is nice. Nothing crazy. The unfortunate thing with the Yara Edition was you are not allowed to choose a different color interior. The only thing you were able to choose is the carbon buckets or the standard seats, and you're only able to get black, unfortunately. But the one thing that the Yara Edition does come with is the little M stripe badges on the headrest. Also, you can see them in the rear, on the rear headrest. So it's a little fancy, but nothing too over the top. It's got a nice, I believe, blue stitching here, which is cool. Everything ties in, and has some nice Alcantara on the side. So they are very, very nice seats, but I really wish you were able to choose the color that you wanted. Also, another small addition on the Yara is you get this little plaque on the cup holder thing here. He still has the blue wrapping on here to protect it, but this says M3 Edition 50 Yara BMW M and 1 of 500. No, this is not the first 1 of 500. They all say that, which is kind of weird. I really wish they had an ID number so you knew exactly which one you had. But basically that is saying 1 of 500. You have one of them, who knows what number, but you have one of them. So as you can see, they only made 500 of these. So we're really limited to, you know, a certain amount, and not many people have them, only 500. So it is cool to have a special edition M3. And also in the competition package, the X-Drive, you are not allowed to order manual. You are only able to order that in the base model M3. I think that is a mistake. I really wish you were able to option the competition package with manual. That would have been my perfect G80 M3, to be completely honest. Rear wheel drive, I wouldn't want the all wheel drive, which is what this is. But you're only able to order the auto. But it is very, very good, a lot of fun, but I just prefer manual overall. So there were a couple other colors you were able to order in the Yara Edition. Techno Violet, you were able to order Interlagos Blue. The other color was Lime Rock, I believe. And there was a red color as well that I'm not sure of the color name. I'll put it up on the screen for you guys once I look it up. But there was only a couple colors you were able to order. Interlagos is beautiful. Actually, one of my favorite BMW colors. But I think for this specific car, I think the Techno Violet definitely takes the cake. All right, so now let's start going over my favorite part of this car, and that is the modifications that my buddy has done so far to his G80 M3. First and foremost, you can see up front, or the whole entire car, it is not just normal Techno Violet. This is actually Stealth PPF by S-Tech. So the entire car is covered in this. It completely changes the overall look. I absolutely love how this turned out. All of the gloss, so the mirrors, the carbon roof, the bottoms down here, which are gloss black, they're actually covered in just normal PPF, but the entire car is covered in Stealth PPF. It gives it that frozen matte look. I absolutely love it. Honestly, I am not a big fan of frozen paint. You can order these cars in a couple different frozen colors from BMW, but personally, I would go with a color that I preferred and then get this done if I really just wanted that frozen look. Obviously, PPF protects your paint, so it's gonna look perfect for many years to come, and you get a cool look. So it's kind of hard to go wrong, and it really turned out cool, and it gave this entire car a much more menacing look. Entire car, you can see the lines way more. I mean, just look how aggressive the rear hips are. It just looks amazing. I know it's nighttime. Obviously in the daytime it looks way better, but just working with what I got here, and it just, even in the dark, it still looks absolutely amazing. When this car is clean, I cleaned it a few times, it looks phenomenal. I absolutely love how this turned out. My buddy was even asking me, he was like, hey, should I go with the Stealth or should I go with gloss? Personally, I was saying go with the gloss because I'm just a big detail guy. So I always like depth of paint, making it look nice and shiny. And he still went with the Stealth, and I must say he proved me wrong. It looks very good. He also did tint as well when he did the Stealth PPF. I forget what percentage, I believe it's like 30% or so, which is perfect. It's not too dark, it's not too light. That is my preferred percentage when I do tint. So it is really nice. It's ceramic as well. He also did 70% on front, so obviously it doesn't tint it, but it helps keep the interior nice and cool, and it protects the interior as well in the warmer months. A couple videos that you guys saw me do, you saw me do the recent Future Classic spacers. So we put 12 millimeters in the back, 15 in the front, made this car look so much better, so much more aggressive. I love how this turned out. They're Future Classics, so it's very high quality spacer. I loved everything about them, the little details. They're very nice, and it really brought this car to another level. It filled out the very wide fenders that the M3s are known for. If you really want to keep that OEM plus look, spacers are the way to go. And this is my favorite mod he has done to date. I actually did a whole video on this. This is the yellow CSL daytime running lights. Absolutely awesome. It's only like 300 bucks to do this. All you're doing is replacing a little circuit board in the heat sinks and the headlights. Very simple, very straightforward. and it gives this car a completely different menacing look. I absolutely love how these things turned out. It really looks good on the purple, and it just gives it that whole unique look, and I love how that turned out. Again, I did a whole detailed video on how to install those, so if you're interested, go check that out. I also did one on the spacers as well. But yeah, these things 100% are the way that I would go if I had a G80 M3. So the latest modifications that he recently did that I personally love as well are the front grille as well as the inlets down here. As you can see, the front grille looks way better than the stock one. The stock one I absolutely hate. This really opens up the front end. It makes it look way more aggressive, and it's carbon fiber, so it really just ties everything in. On the Yara Editions, as you can see down here, these are carbon fiber now, but it just came with a mesh covering, which looked really cheap, really bad. On his Brooklyn Gray one, it actually had these carbon inlets here. And for whatever reason, BMW decided to change that over to the cheapo plastic ones, the little mesh coverings. So we got those installed as well. And the CSL style grille here is beautiful. I absolutely love how this turned out. Again, kind of hard to see in the dark, but it just looks so much more menacing, so much better. And I really love how that kind of brought in this controversial front end and made it look so much better. So that is it in terms of modifications that he has done so far. He definitely plans on doing more, so I'm going to go over them real quick. He actually plans on doing the Active Auto Work single mid pipe to get this exhaust sounding way better. The G80s sound way better than the F80. Stock at least doesn't sound as tinny, as farty. These actually sound very good just with the single mid pipe, single equal length mid pipe I should say. And he's going to get that done. Also, he is going to go lower, nothing crazy. He's either going to go with the AST springs or the H&R Super Sports, which lowers it about an inch or so, and it's going to really take this car to another level. In terms of tuning, he's going to eventually go down the road of going to the Carbon, which is owned by Dynon. Dynon actually sold the company to Carbon now, and they're actually the same kind of ordeal where it keeps your warranty intact and everything. It adds like 40 or 50 horsepower, so it's nothing crazy, but it gives that extra kick in the pants. But it keeps your warranty, and you don't have to worry about anything, and plus you get a little bit more power. So he's going to eventually go down the road and get that done. But yeah, that is it so far. I mean, he plans on doing much more to that, but that is for the near future plans. We'll be doing videos on those with the exhaust and everything, lowering the car and all that. So it should be a lot of fun. And honestly, I gotta say, I have absolutely fallen in love with these cars. Did not like these at first, just like everybody else. I thought it was a hideous design. But the more that I got to be around it, the more I got to drive it, the more I have fallen in love with it. And honestly, it is absolutely beautiful. I love these cars so much. In fact, I've actually been thinking about picking one up myself and ordering it the way that I want and owning one of these. These things are absolutely awesome. All right, guys, so that is going to wrap it up for my little walk around, little review of my buddy's G80 M3. Again, I have fallen in love with this car immensely, and I'm thinking very hard about picking one of these things up. And it would be pretty cool to spec out my perfect M3. It's always something I wanted to do, so maybe one day soon we'll be able to do that. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. If you have any questions at all about the G80 or anything else at all, be sure to ask them below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.